There's an epidemic in America, one that is stealing the future of our nation's children, one that is suspending millions of adults in childhood. Its name? Illiteracy. One man has been passionately committed to eradicating this disease from our educational system, John Corcoran. A college graduate, former high school English teacher, and multi-million-dollar real estate developer, he accomplished it all while hiding one small secret. He couldn't read.
I could not read, write, or spell. I was illiterate for most of my life, and I was 48 years old. So about 50 years of my life, I could not read or write or spell my native language, English. I was one of those people that in the second grade, I ended up in the dumb row.
John passed from grade to grade through a system of social promotion he believes still exists today. Because he was good at math, his teachers told John's parents he was smart, but immature. He would surely learn to read someday. According to John, by 6th grade, he had become the boy with the mask.
I had to pretend all the time. I had to act all the time. I had to be on guard all the time. I didn't get to tell people who I really was.
In junior high and high school, John sought out pretty, intelligent girls who were happy to help him with his homework or tests. He became part of the in crowd, playing 3 sports and getting elected homecoming king.
I consciously decided that it was in my best interest to make friends with the college prep kids, the smart kids, the good students, identify with that group other than to identify with the losers that couldn't read.
The University at El Paso gave John a full athletic scholarship. He now faced even tougher obstacles, writing essays and passing college exams.
I was always analyzing the security system, you might say. Where are the grades? Basically, how do I get that degree?
After graduation, John was hired to teach English grammar, social studies, and coaching at a high school near Carlsbad, California. It was the beginning of a teaching career that would span an amazing 17 years.
I almost quit every day because I knew I really did have a conscience about doing a good job. Well, how do you do a good job with one hand tied behind your back? I brought the knowledge in by bringing experts in that delivered lectures. I also used television, and I taped Roots, for example, and showed that, and then we had discussions, and that was live. That was relevant curriculum at that time.
John's masquerade extended to his personal life as well. He told his wife Kathy that he couldn't read. She thought he meant he couldn't find the time. It wasn't until she overheard him trying to read a bedtime story to their 3-year-old daughter that she learned the truth. She became his surrogate reader and writer. In 1977, John took a leave of absence from teaching to pursue real estate development. For 10 years, he built a successful multi-million-dollar company in San Diego, until it became a victim of the late 80s recession. By 1986, John could no longer endure the daily war he was fighting with what he now called his enemy, words.
When you can't read, words are on a page are constantly confronting you and telling you that you're stupid and you can't do something that children can do.
John was 48 years old when he decided it was time to end his struggle. He went to the Carlsbad Adult Learning Center, where he met his tutor, Eleanor Conduit.
People ask me, what was the magic that Eleanor Conduit had, in that relationship? And I try to explain it. It was the 2nd grade teacher that I never had. And it was a one-on-one relationship of somebody who thought and believed that they could teach me how to read.
Diagnostic tests confirmed that John had a problem.
And I couldn't distinguish the sounds in the language. And it didn't mean that I couldn't hear them. I just could not distinguish the fine sounds, so I couldn't put them in order.
In 1987, after working on his basic skills for a little over a year, John was encouraged by Linda Jones, coordinator of the Adult Learning Center, to tell his story to 200 people at the San Diego Council on Literacy.
I couldn't read. I couldn't even read names.
The courageous act of going public with his secret set John on a path he never imagined, one of role model and hero to thousands of adult learners like himself.
I was so full of joy for overcoming a lifelong failure, and I did it. I wanted to find, my elementary school teachers and say, hey, I'm not dumb, I got it.
He became a widely sought-after speaker and advocate for literacy. Since then, he's written a book called The Teacher Who Couldn't Read and appeared on such talk shows as Oprah, 2020, Larry King Live, and Donahue. Former First Lady Barbara Bush was instrumental in getting John appointed to the board of the National Institute for Literacy, a term which he continued under President Clinton. He has testified twice before Congress on illiteracy.
It is as important in America today to teach an adult to read and write and spell as it is to teach a child.
John is currently president of the John Corcoran Foundation, a nonprofit organization whose mission is to facilitate the prevention and eradication of illiteracy in adults and children across America. It is a role he could hardly have imagined as that little boy who was forced to sit in the back of the classroom.
And sometimes people will say that I'm successful. I am successful by many standards. I have a family. I've had a business. I've had a career. That's success. But I still don't know how to articulate the joy and the power that knowing how to read has and the impact that it has on my life.